Welcome to Ascension Arcana Tarot. This is Christine with a general collective reading for the week of November 2nd. As always, this is a general reading, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. What message do you have for the folks in this collective today? Wheel of Fortune. I feel like I've seen that one several times over the last week or two. The Wheel of Fortune for me is always kind of like a twist of fate or like the hand of destiny sort of reaching in. I'll leave those guys for the next row. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it kind of depends on the cards around it. If it's kind of a shift in like an auspicious direction, or if maybe it's a shift towards like a challenge that you're meant to overcome, right? Which like once you clear that out, that can become like the positive energy that's flowing in. But here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Six of Wands, it's very obvious that there's some sort of like a positive shift here, right? So the Six of Wands is a card of victory, of triumph. He sort of has like an element of like fame or public acclaim here. So he's kind of like the star of the show. He's in his winning era here. He's the guy that's being celebrated at the parade. This is sweet energy. I like this. So the Three of Swords for me always feels like that, like heartbreak and betrayal. They're like the first two words that come to me whenever this card comes out. And the star here, it's funny because it's kind of relating to both of these. So the star is very much a card of healing. It's like a very gentle energy for me. And the star can also be something that's sort of like off in the distance. So it might feel like whatever this heartbreak or betrayal or difficult thing you've been going through, it might feel like it's something that has lasted for like a really long time. But I feel like the sky is sort of getting brighter, right? The energy of the star, the energy of the healing, of hope, of brightness is kind of coming into you. And the star is also like a very, let me think of the words to say this. It can be a card of like being in the spotlight or kind of being like a public figure. So it's actually really bouncing off of that Six of Wands for me as well. So this is like a really sweet energy. If you are in this collective, I feel like this Three of Swords energy is kind of what's been in the past for you. So what you're moving on from. But I feel like you're ready to like have that breakthrough and I don't know, really just like almost being like public with your healing. This is a really cool energy. I like this. So we have the Four of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. Yeah, it's interesting. I feel like if you're in this collective as well, you've been sort of hanging on to something that's been keeping you stuck. I feel like this Hangman card is almost like this moment of epiphany. That's what sort of shifts or like turns things for you. It's resonating off that Wheel of Fortune card for me. This is really a super interesting energy. I love this. If you're in this collective, I don't know, hang in there. I just saw the image of like, do you remember, I don't know if it's like from the 80s or the 90s. I was talking about this a while ago. There was like this cat poster that used to be like sort of famous and people would hang it in their break room in the office as like a silly office joke. But it was like this goofy little cat or kitten hanging off of a tree branch and it would say hang in there. And I feel like that's kind of this energy, like you're that hangman, you're like literally hanging, right? This has been something that's been very difficult for you to move on from. But I feel like you're sort of, as you're moving into this energy of surrender, which is like a huge lesson of that Hangman card, right? Like he cannot physically get himself out of this situation. He just has to surrender. And as you're surrendering, you're sort of loosening the control or like that clinging energy from that Four of Pentacles. And I feel like that's the thing that allows you to sort of have this big breakthrough, have this healing epiphany, and really just completely leave that energy of like heartbreak and betrayal in the past. This is really beautiful. I like this reading. Alrighty. What advice do you have for folks in this collective? There we go. The King of Wands. He's a great energy. I'm trying to feel that because it's interesting to me. His stance is like looking back towards the past, which reminds me of this energy that you're kind of like moving on from. So for me in tarot, I tend to read it like a book for the most part. So like him looking that way would be like the past, right? It's like the things that have happened in the past. The King of Wands looking at the past. I don't know. I feel like he's just taking stock almost of like these lessons here. I am almost feeling like a logical energy from him and like this optimism as well. So I feel like this card is representing you gaining this perspective, right? This new perspective, this surrender, this breakthrough, and really being able to look at this like this sort of difficult event or situation or this tough thing that you've been working through, being able to look at it through a lens of like optimism, wisdom, healing, right? So I feel like he would be able to see it as like the wands is the suit of fire, right? I'm seeing it as like he walked through the fire, right? He walked through that difficult thing. He walked through that challenge, that, you know, that like really painful emotional stuff that he was going through. And he really can see now like how it transformed him. That's like a perfect analogy for that. I like that, like walking through the fire. The Seven of Wands. What else do you have for us here? That's interesting. So the Seven of Wands, I'm just feeling like that, I don't know how to say it. It's not defensiveness. It's like that energy of having boundaries. So I'm trying to think of how to say this. If you are in this collective, right, you have been kind of in this hurting space of having this experience, right? But I think this King of Wands energy sort of reframing that for you, being able to really see like, wow, this is the thing that helped me heal, that helped me transform. Like basically I wouldn't be the person that I am today if I hadn't gone through this difficult thing, right? I feel like he's helping you to put it into proper perspective in terms of, I don't know, like the universe's plan for you in your life, basically, right? And this sort of invitation to grow and heal that you've had from this. I feel like this Seven of Wands is pretty simple. It's just saying to me boundaries, right? So you can see this guy is sort of defending. He's sort of holding off these wands. So it's almost like you're learning to be stronger here, where like ego is trying to jab you, or maybe the sadness is trying to jab you, or maybe you're having some fear that's trying to come in, right? And you're really able to say, nope, I'm not going to take it. And you're sort of like defending yourself like this guy. It's a nice energy. It feels very competent to me. Like I feel like you have the skills, you have the stability, you have kind of like the savviness to be able to, I don't know, like put boundaries with those fears and those thoughts. It's a nice energy. I like it. The High Priestess. Yeah, it feels to me like this is like a very interesting energy. I'm super curious who this will resonate for. So I feel like because you are able to reframe these events from the past to see how they've kind of turned you into the person who you are today, or if you can't quite do that, right, you're kind of like moving into that energy of being able to put it into perspective. So you're taking this sort of really powerful perspective, you're putting up these boundaries. I feel like because of that, she's feeling very like vulnerable and open to me. The High Priestess really represents like our intuition and our relationship with the divine, the universe, our highest selves, right? We kind of have a lot of that coming in here. The Wheel of Fortune is that sort of hand of fate, divine intervention. The Star to me is like very divinely guided. And then that Hangman, it's like this person kind of having like this divine epiphany, right? So I feel like that's part of what this is for you, is because you're taking a new perspective, because you are putting up boundaries, you're like creating a space of safety. I keep seeing this image of like a bubble. You're creating a space of safety where you are able to be open to the universe, to your highest self, to sort of like receiving this healing, or sort of like the bigger divine reason why this has happened for you in your life. This is a really cool energy. So she feels to me like very open and vulnerable, but like very, very powerfully protected. So if you're in this collective, I feel like you have come quite a long way in terms of like valuing yourself and being willing and able to set those boundaries, because this part of you is like precious. This part of you that is so vulnerable, that's open to the divine, that's open to this healing, and to this kind of this like surrender, right? This part of you is precious. And I feel you pretty fiercely defending like this beautiful, safe space for this like open and vulnerable energy to exist in, like within your heart. This is really lovely. There's another card of waiting. This reminds me of the energy of the star. It's similar. I am feeling that for this collective. I feel like you're either just having this epiphany or you're like just about to have it. I feel like that's why I'm getting that energy of like, hang in there, right? Like just hang in there. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep healing. Keep being with yourself. Keep putting up those boundaries with ego. There's like an openness and a vulnerability to this energy that's really beautiful. I think I'm going to put him up here just so I have room. I think 3 of them came out here. Yeah. And I feel like this is you kind of cultivating yourself, cultivating like your inner garden, right? Your emotional space, your mental space. It's almost, I feel like watching yourself like blossom into this really beautiful healing energy, like this leveling up. All right. Yeah, it's so awesome. This card for me is often also a hang in there energy. So the 9 of Wands is like, you know, you could sort of see this weary warrior, right? And he's been through it, and he's putting up this little wand wall, and he's like, just give me a break for a minute, right? So you might be feeling that as well. If you are in this collective, just sort of the desire to take a breather. It's funny, I was just talking about this the other day. Like, it's okay sometimes to tell the universe, like, hey, universe, I just need like a day for, like, give me a little time out for a day, or give me a break for the weekend or something, right? It's okay. It doesn't mean that you stop making progress or you stop healing or having breakthroughs or anything like that. But it's okay to just cry mercy if it really just feels like too much and you need a break. But I'm really feeling that, like, you've been through it. I wonder if this is the same collective as I pulled for the other week, because I feel like I had that message for you guys before. But this is so beautiful. Like, look at all of this flowing water. And I'm drawn again to the star with her like pictures of water. Look at all this flowing water. For me, that's flowing emotion. And I'm also feeling it like it's you surrendering to being like in the divine flow. And for me, in the spiritual work that I do, surrendering to that flow very much comes from an emotional space and a heart space. So this Ace of Cups really resonates for me. It's all about healing. It's about new opportunities in love. I mean, it's an ace, right? It's one of those ones where it's like literally the hand of God, like holding out a gift for you, right? Yeah, new love, new healing. I'm super drawn to the bird here and the little like host, right? To me, that always feels extremely peaceful. I was talking about a feeling of you blossoming, and there's like all these little lotus blossoms, which I think is really beautiful. I feel like the Temperance card is also kind of taking a pause. There's a lot of like stopped energy in this reading, but I don't feel it stopped like stagnant. I feel it stopped like someone it's like you've been underwater for a while and you come up for a breath and then you're about to go back underwater for a while, and like it feels safe and peaceful and all that good stuff, but it really feels like someone's stopping to take a breath. Like that Hangman is kind of a stopped energy. And definitely this Seven of Pentacles feels like a pause. This Nine of Wands feels like a pause. And even this guy, this Four of Pentacles, right? He's a little bit of a stubborn pause. But yeah, it feels like taking a breath, taking a breather, taking a pause. So if you are in this collective, I feel like the energy here is saying it's very safe. Like you've been healing a lot, you've been processing a lot, and you're going to move kind of into this like breakthrough phase. And it's okay if you kind of need to cry mercy and like take a day off or something, right? But this is alchemy. I feel like this angel, it's like the universe on your behalf, you know, basically turning water into wine, you know, helping you to transform whatever this painful experience was into your healing, into your victory, into your epiphany and your surrender. So if you're in this collective, you're like very divinely protected in terms of being assisted through this. It feels like a huge breakthrough for you. So we're going to pull a couple of animal cards. We have Guardian Bear, power, inner strength, and healing. Go travel, discover the beauty of nature. You need to connect to the power of the earth. I love that. It feels like taking a break in nature, right? My friend and I just went for a hike today, and it was so lovely being outside. Oh, I love that. Hardworking bee, work ethic, community, drive. You have the power to realize your dreams. Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like if you're in this collective, you almost feel like if you take this pause, you're going to like somehow lose your momentum, or like it could somehow take your power away here. But your power comes from within you. And I feel like if you're in this collective, you're not a quitter. You're pretty freaking tough. So you have the power to take a break, and you have the power to say like, all right, I'm ready. Let's go again, you know? Let's see. I feel like there's maybe one more card. Do you have any more cards? Maybe there's not. Cool. That's it. That's all I want to say. I love it. This is an awesome reading. I hope that this was helpful for anyone who's in this collective. I feel like give yourself so much compassion, so much grace. You're doing an amazing job. I feel like this energy here is just letting you know that it's safe to pause and take a break, and then just jump right back into the healing and keep going because you're close to this epiphany, this breakthrough. All right. I hope this is helpful, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye.